does not have a number attached.
Oh, good to know. But looks like we are off on CrebleStar's screen, but Siberian has not started.
Oh, there you go.
So there's a little bit delay between the two.
Yeah, there will be a little bit of a sync going on soon, so CrebleStar's screen will sync up with Siberian Bull, so when CrebleStar's stream freezes out for a little bit, like it is right now, it's just to allow Siberian Bull to catch up.
Gotcha.
What we have is a blank select screen. In this tournament, just like the races that were done as a warm-up, the runners will not see what boss is in any particular square until they select the stage.
Indeed. You know, the thing about the Mega Man 2 randomizer is everything's random.
Yes, and further elaborate on that, it goes down straight from music of the stages, enemy placement, enemy weaknesses, not even just the bosses, but even the regular enemies. As you can see, all kinds of nonsense with drills on Siberian Bull's screen.
It looks like Kreble's getting attacked by some crabs from falling down crabs. Those things can be really annoying in these randomizers.
Yeah, CrebleStar's getting a bit of a seafood buffet in the Airman stage. The shrimp, lobsters, and various other seafood.
Nice pause strat by Siberian there to get over that gap with those drills coming up.
Alright, we got the first boss of the race. It is Woodman in Airman stage.
Yeah, usually you can just buster down Woodman almost in every single thing, but CrebleStar takes a death there because they hit like a tank.
Oh, absolutely. And then we have Bubble Man in Metal Man stage on Siberian's screen.
Oh, CrebleStar ended up getting bodied right at the end by Airman with a low jump, in the Airman stage by Woodman. A little bit of a low jump there by Woodman. Ah, what a shame.
We see Siberian picking up the first item of the game in item 3. That was in Metal Man stage, so we know where item 3 is now. Ooh, Crash Man. Going into Crash Man without item 1 or item 3 is going to be painful for Kreble.
I think this is going to be both runners trying to figure out how they can actually... Oh, CrebleStar has item 1.
I didn't even know he picked up item 1. Nice.
Well, Airman stage apparently has item 1, and this gives CrebleStar a significant advantage in this stage, as these elevator rooms will be problematic.
You can tell the difference in time there with Kreble jumping up on that ladder with item 1, whereas Siberian had to wait the whole time for these.
And that's funny because with these racers coming in with 2 different items, they both have distinct advantages in distinct areas of the stages. As you can see, Kreble using the item 1 to get through a lot of these ladder sections early on, but Siberian will be able to traverse the very long ladder in the second part of the stage much faster.
Indeed.
Well, this will be an interesting contrast, then, to see who ends up getting to the finish line first, as it were. CrebleStar does have the advantage of using item 1, but oh no, the prop tops here. Oh, this is going to be difficult.
It's going to be difficult for him to get through here. Yep, he makes it okay. Oh, he keeps getting bodied, but man, that's gonna...
A little too soon there, didn't we?
Yeah. You know, this is also a unique seed also where item 1 is going to be stationary instead of floating up. We'll see how that affects the runners throughout this game also, because that these randomizer also affects those items.
I think the only item that is not affected is item 2. I believe item 1, as you stated, can be stationary or a random movement speed.
Also, they can like disappear faster or longer. Isn't that right? Like some item 1 placements can just almost instantly disappear.
Yes, you are correct. And we do have Crashman and Crashman stage. Is this even randomized?
Well, we shuffled part of the deck at least, not so much all of it. But CrebleStar had a slight disadvantage coming into the stage, taking a death to, I believe it was Woodman at the end of the Airman stage, but we see CrebleStar getting through this Crashman stage much faster than Siberian Bull.
Yeah, Siberian was almost dead there to Crash. He was a little low on health, but he clutched it out really nicely.
Alright. Siberian Bull heading into Bubbleman stage while Kreble is on Flashman stage. One technique that you will find the runners using on the Robot Masters, more than likely, except for perhaps Heatman, is going to be bustering them down. Just because we are playing on easy difficulty for the randomizer. That means each Robot Master will either take 2 or 4 pellets of damage. So I'm fairly certain they will be trying Buster first thing.
Yeah, it's a good habit to get into, is always try everything with Buster first, just to kind of make sure you can, do the most damage. Like if you can get Buster damage, boss weaknesses are the best. Makes things a lot easier.
Well, with having 1 or 2 items in the kit, it's a little difficult to really go hunting for items. You usually end up losing time, just because look how quickly CrebleStar destroyed whatever boss that was at the end of the stage.
It's gone so fast, I didn't even see it.
I saw it explode.
It was Flashman in Flashman stage.
This is not randomized at all, is it?
No, not at all.
For
That's
the
where you like
record,
to see
there is a question in chat, and it is something that I did not bring up at the beginning. Why did we not see the Bubbleman zip?
Ah, that is a very interesting question. That is because this year's tournament rules are that this is a zipless tournament. And you will incur penalties if you do zip, whether it is incidental or not.
Up to and including potential disqualification from the particular seed itself if you do an intentional zip. However, there are spots where an enemy just showing up at the wrong place at the wrong time can force you to zip. And there is a small schedule of time penalties.
Kreble taking an unfortunate death to Drills there.
Yeah, I think the only really zip kind of movement you can do is the ladders, where you can jump up off screen above without grabbing onto the ladder, kind of jump over, and it kind of pushes you up the ladder on the next screen. I think that's the only one that's really allowed.
That is correct. That has been outlined in the rules.
So the runners do know what they can and cannot do. However, for those of you watching, you will not be seeing any zips intentionally done by the runners, as they are unfortunately not allowed in this tournament. Or
Also, I do want to point out a pro move that CrebleStar made, as he is a veteran classic Mega Runner. He took a death on that gap the first time and actually used pause buffering to get through it the second time.
Yeah, the pause buffer trick, it comes in handy in these randomizers, I mean, a lot, because there are moments where that will be the difference maker in these runs.
Yes, and that, to me, is one of the most fascinating things about the randomizer, because the more experience you have not only with the original game, but with the randomizer itself, you can actually see that in playstyles of the runners, because they will come up with some very interesting strategies on the fly to get through some of these screens, especially some of the tougher ones.
Bubbleman's theme and Bubbleman's stage. And I'll tell you what.
Yeah, so much for this being a randomizer, right? It's like the Mega Man 2 kind of sort of randomizer. We randomized part of it, but not all of it.
It's a half-ass randomizer, that's what it is. Although I did get pretty hyped with the Boomer Quanger song in Metal Stage. Was it Metal's Stage? Man, that was pretty awesome.
Oh, absolutely. That is actually one of my favorite features of the randomizer itself. It takes tracks from several different games besides just Mega Man 2 and adds them in. Not only just other Mega Man games as well, so you will hear some tracks from the Mega Man X series potentially pop up, some other classic Nintendo games as well.
Yeah, I think there was a Kirby song in one of the randomizers, wasn't there?
Oh, there are. I think our resident specialist when it comes to the soundtracks is in this chat. LB Creed knows more than I could ever dream of when it comes to the music. And speaking of accidental zip, Siberian Bull is actually in the section where we could see an accidental zip happen with these Yoku blocks and the enemies forcing a player either into a pit or across the Yoku block section.
Gotta be careful, everybody. You got through it.
Go. Krebel struggling a little bit with Metal Man, but he's taking it slow and he gets him down.
It's like that. Krebel just making short work of these 8 robos here. He's flying through. Doing a really good job.
Siberian Bull is into one of the longest stages in the game with the Heatman stage, and he does have the item too. So for now, this is going to give him a little bit of an advantage. However, CrebleStar is about half a stage ahead, with Quickman and Woodman stages remaining, whereas Siberian Bull has Woodman and Airman.
Yeah, and CrebleStar is going to be able to show his experience off in the second part of the Heatman stage with these Yoku blocks, going through it pretty easily. Because he has so much experience with these retro games, as you said before. He's a very well-skilled retro Mega Man gamer.
Ooh, taking a death to the bunnies.
See, that's what happens when there's a lot of lag on screen and you take iframes. It seems like the iframe just lasts forever when there's just so much lag on there, and you just end up. Oh no! Oh, Kreble got.
And there was an incidental zip.
Ouch.
However, it did not give him an advantage whatsoever. Actually, caused him to die.
Yeah, like I said, that incidental zip can actually happen on this stage. You know, completely unintentional and certainly not to CrebleStar's benefit.
Yeah, those little Yoku blocks, when they spawn there and you do like a little jump left movement, you can kind of be pushed through that wall.
Alright, we're gonna see some skilled Yoku block action here, hopefully.
I hate these damn things. But he's making it look easy. Look at that. Too easy for CrebleStar.
Alright,
yeah,
Siberian Bull on the Woodman.
We see him trying some different weapons here to see if he's got a different weakness other than Buster. Which it looks like
he's weak to a quick boomerang.
Now that's something that the runners will try to look at. Finding an item that they can use going forward. And here we go with 2 stages remaining for each runner. I did not see Flashman on Siberian Bull's side of things. But we have CrebleStar into Quickman stage, and Siberian Bull into the common stage left between them, which is Woodman. So it'll be on Siberian Bull to finish this stage and Flashman, while CrebleStar goes through Quickman and Woodman stage.
This game we're trying some weaknesses with these dogs. These dogs can, if you find the right weakness, they can get one-shotted, so... It looks like Leaf Shield's gonna one-shot them here.
Well, looked like I saw a Leaf Shield get thrown the wrong way. Speaking of the Randomizer, that is a property of one of the weapons. The Leaf Shield can have inverted horizontal or vertical movement, as well as fast or slow. Just like we saw there, Siberian Bull throwing it off to the right when I think he meant to throw it to the left.
It could be inverted on the X and Y axis for that ability as well.
That is true. It can be either neither or both when it comes to the Leaf Shield. The Air Shooter, I believe, will have a random property of how long it lasts, so it can actually wrap around the screen coming from below back up.
And we have Quickman and Quickman stage. How many times have this seed shown us that it's not even randomized? Like 5 times already?
Oh, we saw that on Siberian Bull's side, so we kind of knew that was coming. Well, here we go. CrebleStar into the last stage, and Siberian Bull is at the last corridor before the boss door. So CrebleStar will have to finish this stage, while Siberian Bull has only the boss and Flashman stage left to go.
Yes, also, as a quick side note, as speculated earlier with the incidental zip on Heatman by CrebleStar, since it did end in a death and did not benefit him whatsoever, he will not be penalized for it.
Looks like
right.
Heat's weak to heat, so...
Heat on heat violence, you hate to see it.
Oh no.
And that's another thing is, in some of these seeds, you can either have to charge the heat shot, or you can get a full charge each time, each shot. So, in this seed, it looks like we get a full charge each shot, so that makes things a lot nicer. Not charging your heat is a plus. Rebel gonna have to be careful. Oh, he's taking a juice box. Good, smart move there.
Yeah, I think CrebleStar learned from the lobster buffet in Airman stage that he wanted little to do with these shrimps, trying to find an item that would make it easier to get through, but just not having any of it.
Looks like we found the wall weakness on Siberian's screen here. He tried a metal blade for the wall weakness, and it turns out that the wall's weak to metal blade, so that's gonna...
Now that will definitely come into play later on when we get into, I believe it's Wily, let's see, Wily 4 with the Boo Beam turrets.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Speaking about Wily, we're going to be seeing our first appearance of him in the tournament here shortly, once Preble gets Heatman down.
Well, now it's a race to see which runner is able to get to Wily first. CrebleStar in what could be a pretty long Heatman fight. Siberian Bull, I believe, seeing Flashman in the Flash stage, and also looking for items to try to take Flashman down. The Air Shooter and something else are a negative so far, so it looks like just resorting with the Buster.
CrebleStar just over 19.5 minutes out of 8 robos. And ladies and gentlemen,
right behind him.
Please welcome the greatest eyebrows in video gaming.
Dr. Wily.
Yeah, little known fact about Dr. Wily, he smokes 3 packs a day, all Virginia Slims, menthol. So he's a little angry.
All right.
I would be too.
I would be too if all I had to smoke was Virginia Slims.
See, what we need to not be angry about is that both of our runners are into Wily 1 stage seconds apart. Now, since we are in the first Wily stage, let's play a little game, shall we?
Let's do it.
Alright, since this is the randomizer, we know there's going to be a Mecha Dragon at the end of this stage. However, what we don't know is what color will that Mecha Dragon be, and what weapon will it be weak to? Let's get those guesses in the chat. Let's get a color and a weapon for the dragon at the end of Wily Stage 1. So, Eric and IREC, go for it. Let me hear it. What do you got?
I say green and blue, and he's going to be weak to Crash Bomb.
Well, I would say he's going to be a big old Georgia peach. It's going to be peach colored with some green accents. And, say, bubble lead for weakness.
Ooh.
Oh, you stole my bubble lead away. I'm gonna go Gray Dragon, and since you stole my bubble lead, I'm gonna go for the other troll weakness of the air shooter.
Ooh, nice.
Beautiful. Can't wait to see it.
Both are wishing bad luck onto the runners here.
Hey, a difficult seed makes for better viewing.
Right on, right on.
Some of us, more so than others, may revel in the suffering of the runners themselves.
Ooh, gray, green, and purple, it looks like. Nice.
Ooh, not the metal blade.
It's not Crash Bomb either. Oh, man.
Boomerang's a negative.
Oh,
it is bubble lead! Oh, you stole my bubble lead! I would have had them both! If it wasn't damn kids, I would have had them both!
Wow.
Oh, and both runners almost getting dragged down simultaneously. Siberian Bull just a few seconds behind. This is quite the race we have, starting the tournament off.
It's pretty epic already.
Yeah, we're looking at 5, maybe 6 seconds at most between these runners, and we're 22 and a half minutes, a little over, into the game at this point. So we're starting out with a good one here. CrebleStar and Siberian Bull showing us just how tight we can have a match be, and this is only game 1.
Treble losing a little bit of time because he is optioning to pick up those item refills. Siberian is as well, but only a few of them.
Like Siberian is... Okay, they both skipped the E-Tank there.
I'm actually surprised CrebleStar didn't test the walls.
Yeah, usually he does test there, but I think maybe he's thinking he may be a little bit behind, and he wants to, make up some ground here. Maybe that's his mentality, maybe? I don't know, but...
Well, it could be. I mean, he has taken, I believe, 2 deaths in the Heatman stage, so... I mean, as much as I want to give runners credit for being flawless, you take that 1 death, and then your mindset changes a little bit, and you go, uh-oh, now I have to make up time somewhere.
Alright, looks like Pico is Buster Week.
That's going to make things easier. It does take, it looked like, 6 shots? Is that right? Or 4 shots?
Usually it's either 2 or 4 for a weapon. And it looks like Siberian Bulls found bubble lead to be effective. So
it only takes 2 bubbles for Pico. There you go.
Siberian Bull a little bit behind as it is right now, but it looks like with only needing 2 shots of the bubble lead, just gonna take these final 2 bricks down pretty quickly. And there we go.
Man, these guys are so close right now, dude. Such a good race so far, dude.
And it looks like our runners are...
Oh, nice little trick there by CrebleStar to spawn that item 2 right above the water so you can ride it all the way to the end. That very smart, very clever.
Yeah, it's going to be small, subtle differences like that that may end up being the complete difference in this run, where CrebleStar has now opened up, almost a 10-second gap because of getting through that section of the stage so much faster compared to Siberian Bull.
That was very nicely done. And it just shows you Kreble's knowledge in this game, of little things you can do to kind of increase your lead a little bit. Or if you're behind, you can kind of catch up a little bit, That's really smart thinking.
Well, Creble doesn't really know it right now, but he is ahead, and he's just found the weakness. No? Looked like he found the weakness. But
Yeah,
I was mistaken.
It looked like Crash Bomb did work, but I think Bubbles Lead's gonna
Bubble
Lead's gonna work.
3 Wily bosses so far. So Siberian Bull did find the weakness sooner. So what was, in the stage, at one point a 10-second lead, we see it just get wiped away by Siberian Bull guessing correctly. Now it's back down to, well, it'll extend itself a little bit. Siberian Bull pulling into the pits, as it were, for a bit of a tire change. But back on his way with the recharge item 3, I believe it was.
All right. A little bit of an interesting anecdote about this stage. In the vanilla game, there are static areas in these screens that Creble and Siberian Bull is just entering that have invisible floors.
Ooh.
So you could fall through at any given point in time. In the randomizer, those are also randomized in terms of where their position is.
Yeah, as we saw Siberian Bull doing, he was actually jumping to try to find... Oh no!
The air guy in the anxiety room, that's gonna be terrible.
You hate to see it!
That is terrible.
Right. To get back to my point before we see CrebleStar get trolled again by the Fan Devils, who take 27.5 minutes to finally make their appearance in this game. Siberian Bull was actually jumping to figure out where the cracks were, and Siberian Bull actually damage boosts through by just jumping down onto the Fan Devil.
That's smart. Rebels are going to take this last room a little cautious here.
And to absolutely no one's surprise, I don't blame him.
I don't blame him either. He's going to take this damage boost. Nice, nice. Gets through it. Very nicely done. Wow, these guys are just so close right now. This is amazing.
Yes, Siberian Bull is hot on the heels. We're looking at 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-second difference between the runners right now as to where they've entered this screen at. So one minor little difference, you look at the right item or wrong item going into the Boo Beam area. Now, CrebleStar, to my knowledge, does not know what the wall weakness is.
He decided to farm ammo and he got really lucky by getting that last ammo there.
So we see this one small decision changing everything. CrebleStar second into the room, even though he had an 8-second lead. And Siberian Bull...
Oh, nice.
Ooh, but Creble finding the weakness to Boo Beam, he doesn't even need the wall weakness if he does this right.
Nicely done, nicely done.
Yeah, unfortunately, Siberian Bull, having the knowledge that he does kind of working against him, but CrebleStar still searching for that weakness. Siberian Bull now finding the turret weakness.
CrebleStar gonna have to get this last one down. Here he goes. Nicely done, nicely done.
The refights.
Wow. And then Siberian right behind him. That's awesome.
What a tight race, ladies and gentlemen.
Alright, so here we go. CrebleStar into the first refight. And CrebleStar going left, Siberian Bull going right. So we see Woodman and Heatman. I believe Siberian Bull knows the weakness for Heatman.
So basically what you're saying is CrebleStar went the correct way, whereas Siberian Bull went the incorrect way.
That's
I don't
correct.
know. I mean...
Oh no, Kreble's taking a death
no,
there.
not when you get bodied by Airman like that. I don't think that's the right way at all, fortunately, for CrebleStar. But I mean, you get the rough one out of the way. You get Heatman done and dusted. Now he's out of the way. You don't have to worry about him showing up later like CrebleStar will have to. You know, Heatman just kind of looming there.
One benefit CrebleStar does have, though, is he tried several weaknesses on Heatman, so he can remember ones that did not work. He can single it out and hopefully find the super weakness to Heat.
Yeah, the Heatman shot may not actually be like the super weakness, but it definitely is a weakness. As it is a randomizer, it could be entirely randomized.
Bubble Man just giving CrebleStar the business here. Gonna take Juice Box.
Yeah, CrebleStar having to pause for a little commercial break there. So I believe we have 3 Robot Masters left for both of our runners. Siberian Bull finishing his 6th Master first. So Siberian Bull has Airman and Woodman left. CrebleStar now into the Heatman fight. Or no, excuse me, Crashman, with Heatman remaining.
It's gonna be interesting to see if CrebleStar decides to go for a chance at a weakness against Heatman, or is he just gonna buster him down like he did before?
Oh my, both runners onto their last Robot Master within a second of each other. And it looks like Siberian Bull finding what looked to be quick boomerang to dumpster Woodman. CrebleStar looking for a weakness.
This is really gonna set him back a lot. He's never tried the Heat on Heat yet. And this is gonna set him back a long way back.
Ooh, and it looks like the Wily machine, for once, I've actually done commentary where the Wily machine is not weak to the regular Buster shot.
Wow.
Yeah, so the interesting thing about Wily Machine, if Wily Machine is Buster weak in the first stage, it will also be Buster weak in the second stage. However, if it is not, it could have 2 separate weaknesses.
Yeah, it looks like
Trouble
CrebleStar...
making very quick work of the first stage, and also going directly to the weakness.
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Nicely done. Nicely done. And now we're back.
Alright,
Right.
Siberian Bull dropping down into Victory Road, but going to the left, picking up the item energy, so this tells me he's not too thrilled about his chances. CrebleStar going to the right, foregoing the item energy. So we are going to have both runners reaching the boss gate at the end of what I so-called Victory Road here, almost at the same time, maybe 2 seconds apart from each other.
And it's all going to come down there to who finds the weakness first, you know?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's going to come down to. The alien is weak to one item. It could be the Buster. It could be whatever Siberian Bull chose to start with. So it's not the Metal Blade. And it looks like the Crash Bomb is a negative. Buster Shot's a no. Quick Boomerang, no.
Wow!
Oh my god!
Wow!
Oh my god!
Wow!
What a good game by both runners, finishing within seconds of each other.
They were literally
the Mega Man 2 randomizer tournament right there. That's how
apart. 1 second apart. According to SRL, CrebleStar did type .done first. However, I am hesitant to call him the winner of the race just because it was so close. But the official SRL time, CrebleStar finishes 34 seconds 26. Or excuse me, 34 minutes 26 seconds. Siberian Bull literally right next to him at 34:27.
Wow.
I actually have to check the rule book now to make sure that there is or is not a tie rule if the runners are within 3 seconds of each other.
That was exciting. That was amazing.
And most of the runners that are familiar with this, like Squidman and LV Creed, are saying that this could be considered a tie. And to be honest, with this race being so close, this is... I'd love to be able to say the definitive answer here, but I just don't have it. And I don't want to say the wrong thing. But my oh my, was this super close and just an amazing race by both runners.
Very well done.
Everybody hang tight for the official ruling on this, but let's talk about this seed and this race. That was one of the biggest nail biters I think I've seen in Mega Man 2 Randomizer history.
It's exciting.
Ooh, what a way to kick off the tournament, let me tell you.
And how many Wily bosses were weak to Bubble Lead? What, four of them? Including Alien?
Yeah.
Actually, 5 of them, I believe. Yes, because it was Mecha Dragon, Pico,
Correct.
Guts Tank, First Stage, Wily Machine, and Alien.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
5 of the potential 7 weaknesses in the Wily stages were Bubble Lead.
That's crazy. Yeah, with Kreble's death on that zip, he's going to avoid a penalty, but if he would not have died, he would have actually gotten a penalty, and that would have actually made a difference in this outcome of this race, because it probably would have been the fact that Siberian would have won in that case, after you factor in the penalty. But I think the general consensus is it's going to be considered a tie because it's so close. That was awesome.
All right, it looks like it is official. We are considering the first race in the Mega Man 2 Randomizer Tournament of 2020 a tie.
Wow. Wow. That's amazing. That's how you open the Randomizer Tournament right there. That's how you do it.
Wow.
Absolutely. So this is going to be a wash. We are going to be starting a new seed here shortly.
So it may be game 2, but it's going to still decide who wins the first game of this particular match.
Yes, and just so everyone is clear on the format here, it is a 2 out of 3 race match. And you have to have 2 definitive wins to be considered the winner of the match.
Wow. I need a minute to recover from that race. That was so close. Like, I mean, this feels like I'm back in, like, Twin Galaxies, like, laboring over the number of frames between declaring one runner a world record holder over another runner.
Yeah.
It was literally that close, where it's like, oh man, now I have to get 2 VCRs set up next to each other to my 2 TVs, run the tapes at the same time, and oh boy. Oh, this is so awesome to start with such a close race that it was literally a tie.
So what happens, here's my question, what happens if the next race is the same outcome, a tie like that, and what are the odds?
With 2 runners of very similar skill sets like this, it's entirely possible to have another tie.
Yeah.
But when it comes down to it, it would be interesting to see what the tournament admins have in store for us for what would actually happen if 2 runs out of a match actually end in a tie. Do we just have essentially a 1-game tiebreaker, winner takes all at that point? Or are we going to have a 5-game series at that point?
Right.
Wow.
It'd be interesting to see, though, and like you said, it's very well possible with these runners of their capabilities. You know, very similar skill set. It very well could happen.
Okay, and since there is speculation in the chat, I can give a definitive answer to the question being asked. With this race being declared a tie, it is not a definitive win for either runner, so neither runner will be given a point for this game. It is as if the race didn't happen. So basically, Game 1 was a really good spectator show, but not going to count for the final results. So, in a sense, this is Game 2, as they have already ran a seed. It will count as if it were still Game 1.
Nice.
So now that we have the most exciting exhibition match out of the way, we are getting geared up for the second race here. Both runners are getting themselves ready here. Should be starting shortly.
Yeah, so instead of getting some Game 3 hype later on, we might need to get some Game 4 hype. Put in a little overtime tonight, so we might be given a little bit of a bonus gift here with 4 possible races on the docket, as Game 1 ended in a dead heat between the 2 runners.
Yeah, I think so. I saw somebody say in chat earlier, the real winner of that match was the viewers. That was amazing.
They are absolutely correct with that. I do kind of feel bad for both CrebleStar and Siberian Bull, because you can look back at that game and go, how many different small little decisions did I make that... And I hate to be the Debbie Downer here, but this could be going through a runner's mind and affecting them coming into this particular seed. And they look at it and go, these little mistakes I made. I stopped and, I went right, or excuse me, I went left at Victory Road for Siberian Bull, picking up weapon energy that I may not have
no effect. Yeah, he didn't even pick up the right ammo for it. He picked up a different ammo. So
if he just goes to the right there, who knows? Maybe he wins with a 5-second advantage and wins the race.
Right.
No, not necessarily the match, but the race for that particular seed. It's these small little differences that make such a huge impact when you put them all together.
And that, my friends, is what makes this tournament so exciting.
Indeed. And that's what makes Randomizer just so much fun to play, even as a runner myself. It's just, I was talking to CrebleStar, what was it, last night or the night before, and we were saying, how much fun we have with randomizers, because, it's the fact that you have to constantly think about what you got to do in order to traverse through the stages, It's more than just, the same strats over and over again in like regular 80% runs or something,
All right. Well, it looks like Game 2 is about to get underway. I think both runners are ready to go.